Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Thursday, May 15th, 2025 edition of the Lewis and Clark Board of County Commissioners, our public meeting. We always start this off with a Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And here I am introducing everybody. To my left is Tom Rolfe, County Commissioner in good standing.
Good morning, Chair Payne.
Good morning, Tom. And Brandy Spangler will she make sure everything is recorded and done according to law. If we get out of line, boy. Let's see. To my immediate right, you'll notice that Andy Hunthausen is not here today. He is out on a personal matter. And Nico Hash is from the County Attorney's Office, as is Mr. Keegan Shea. And Roger Balls is our Chief Administrative Officer. So, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
We have no consent action items. Is that correct, Roger?
Chair Payne, that is correct. Thank you.
Then we will just start along on the action items. The first action item is a change order number 1 between Lewis and Clark County and Bullock Contracting LLC, and will be presented by Miss Jennifer McBroom. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning, Chair Payne, Commissioner. My name is Jennifer McBroom, and I am the Supervisor for the Water Quality Protection District. Today, the Commission will consider change order number 1 regarding the Grizzly Gulch placer mine reclamation project. The proposed changes to the construction contract are contract time with final payment date and contract price. The first one, contract time. This is an increased date of substantial completion to accommodate extreme weather per section 00520, agreement form, Article 4, contract times 4.02B in the Engineers Joint Contract Documents Committee, EJCDC, agreement between owner and contractor for construction contract stipulated price, the contract with Bullock Contracting LLC. The proposed increase is 41 days. The original substantial completion date was planned for April 15th. Respect had discussions about the feasibility of that date during the pre-bid meeting held December 3rd. There was general concern amongst potential bidders that winter weather could be a significant factor preventing them to reach substantial completion by that date. After the contract was awarded at the pre-construction meeting held on January 29th, 2025, the contractor stated that April 15th date was very optimistic, citing winter weather and difficult work conditions. We issued the notice to proceed in mid-February during that exceptionally cold week. Snow and ice didn't fully melt at the project location until about the first week of April, and then had to deal with soggy ground. Extending the substantial completion date by the 41 calendar days to May 26, 2025 is reasonable, and with a final payment date of June 13th, 2025. The second change is the contract price. The proposed net increase of $25,308.75, which includes additions and deductions to bid quantities and items due to unforeseen conditions revealed during construction. A, add 1,380 cubic yards, about 10% of quantity, to unclassified excavation and grading. Increase to quantity to accommodate change to a 4-to-1 four-slope grading adjacent to Grizzly Gulch Drive to facilitate removal of guardrail from project. B, remove surface aggregate. This was erroneously included in the base bid as a component of bid alternate 8 pedestrian trail, which was not included in the contract. pedestrian trail would be constructed by the landowner. Add 20 linear feet of corrugated metal pipe and 1 each end section to steel arch pipe culvert to the steel arch pipe culvert. The adjacent property owner where this work occurs had widened their driveway after survey. Additional culvert length was required to accommodate the increased driveway width. D, add 3750 Solmax Bentonite clay floodplain liner, HDPE floodplain liner was not included in the contract because its prohibitive cost exceeding project funding. Upon initial dewatering during construction, it was observed surface waters were rapidly lost to groundwater in this area. It was collectively agreed that including a liner to reduce the loss of surface water to groundwater upon flow entering the site is essential to support the goal of the project to restore a stream, floodplain, and riparian vegetation community through the mined area. After contract award and observing this condition during active construction, an alternative, readily available product was suggested by the contractor that will accomplish a similar intent of reducing quantity of surface water lost to groundwater through the project area. E, reduce courier log quantity to 515 linear feet. It was determined that the quantity of this item should be reduced to value engineering the project and reallocate the value to components that will provide higher benefit to cost. Where this item is reduced, it will be replaced with willow clumps located from the site. And then the last one, F, add willow clumps. This item was not included in the contract because the work was planned to be completed by others. It needs to be added back in to the project since others are no longer available to execute this work. It is also needed to replace where the quantity of courier log is reduced.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to do a little background of the project.
Before you do,
Yes.
would you tell me what a COIR log is?
A courier log, it is, you probably see them as if there's road work alongside, like going up Mac Pass. If
Okay.
there's road work coming down and there's a ditch and then we have a lot of high water, sometimes what they'll do is they'll use those to kind of absorb or redirect the water, keeping it in the ditch. So we have those all lined along the creek.
Okay.
It's just a big wattle. It's just a big straw wattle, long
Thank you.
tube.
I just, see these things and why does everybody else know this and I don't? Okay, that makes sense. You may continue with your update.
Okay. So just a little background of the project. The Grizzly Gulch Reclamation Project will reclaim the Pretty Girl Placer Mine located a few miles up Grizzly Gulch. The site has an extensive mining history dating back to the 1870s. Mining activities, mostly for gold, have obliterated Grizzly Creek and disturbed 4 acres of floodplain. Materials have been displaced, and the site contains several deep open pits. These pits and unstable embankments have disrupted the surface water and groundwater flows through Grizzly Gulch, as well as created unsafe conditions for the public along Grizzly Gulch Drive. The overarching goal of this project is to reclaim Grizzly Creek to a functional stream and floodplain, and to improve the safety for the public that use Grizzly Gulch Drive. Impacts to natural resources center on water quality and quantity associated with the disrupted hydrologic conditions. Water quality is impacted through erosion of steep, exposed soils and increased sedimentation. The project proposes to reclaim the mining by establishing a functional floodplain slope to restore natural surface and groundwater flows. The floodplain will include a constructed stream channel through diverse riparian vegetation to address water quality impacts to the public, focus on the public safety hazards to vehicular and pedestrian traffic along Grizzly Gulch Drive. The project will address the steep slopes along the county road to improve safety for vehicular and pedestrian traffic. The project will allow public access to the reclaimed mine and restored stream corridor with a new trail that will be constructed by the landowner. So there was a grant, just a little bit more. This grant funding for this project was a result from a 2018 DNRC Reclamation and Development Planning Grant in the amount of $50,000 that analyzed and developed reclamation alternatives for the pit. This information supported preparation for a reclamation development project grant proposal that was submitted in 2020 for the 2021 biennium and was awarded back in July 2021 through House Bill 7. So that funding was awarded to us, and so now we're going through the process of administering the contract and getting construction started. So work has started up there with the stream being constructed already and the creek flowing. And I think a lot of that has to do with all the rains that we have received, but it's flowing really, really well right now. And then willow stake planting will occur tomorrow all day. So we're nearing the end of this project. Staff recommends approval.
Well, thank you. Do you have any questions?
Yes. Could you remind me where the extra money is coming from? What's the source of the extra 26,000?
So this is all within the original grant. So the contract. So the original contract was $292,000. And so when the construction contract was administered, we actually took out some bid items, knowing there may be some contingencies and some issues coming up, just like I had mentioned. And so we're adding out of that one pot of money, we're adding back because we saw some issues and concerns. So no extra money. It's still part of the Reclamation Development Grant Project Fund.
So it's really a state grant.
Correct. It is a state-funded
All right.
grant.
Just
Go ahead.
I just really appreciate the way you've done this, because when things kind of go more expensive, sometimes you wonder where the extra bucks are coming from them, and for you to anticipate that there might be a problem here and having reduced the project in that anticipation, and still even with these extras not going over what we can get on the grant,
Right.
I really appreciate the due diligence there. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question for you. The Grizzly Gulch mine reclamation project, and I'm pretty sure you drove me up there, and so I've looked at it, but it's been a while. There is what I think of as a homeless encampment up on Grizzly Gulch, or am I off one drainage?
You're off one drainage.
Okay,
So when you,
that's fine.
Chair Payne, Commissioner. So when you start going up Grizzly Gulch, you end up at a Y.
Yes.
And so you could either go to Unionville to the left and Grizzly Gulch to the right.
Okay.
You go up Grizzly Gulch about 4 to 5 miles for the project.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any further questions?
No.
Is there any public comment? Seeing no public comment, we probably better have a motion on this, Tom.
All right. Chair Payne, I would move to approve the change order number 1 between Lewis and Clark County and Bullock Contracting, LLC, as explained by Jennifer McBroom.
Second. Do we have any further comments from the commission?
Just again, thank you again for looking down the road and protecting us on the financing on this project.
Thank you.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded that we approve the change order number 1 between Lewis and Clark County and Bullock Contracting LLC as presented by Jennifer McBroom. All in favor of this motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Jennifer. Next on our agenda is the grant application to the Montana Board of Crime Control, and this will be presented by our friend Matt Kultgen. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Chair Payne, Commissioner Rolfe. Oh,
Do we have gremlins in here, Brandy, that turn that thing
probably
off?
wasn't high enough. It was on. I think it just wasn't probably high enough to my mouth, and I speak kind of softly. So, well, I appreciate you guys seeing me this morning. I am here before you today to ask for your permission to continue to seek funding through the Montana Board of Crime Control for the VAWA grant opportunity. The VAWA grant, as you may know, is the Violence Against Women Act initiative that came through the United States government many years ago. This grant opportunity has been supported and approved by the Commission for over 15 years and provides a vital role within our community. I would also like to say thank you for your previous support regarding this program. This year, we will be asking the Montana Board of Crime Control for an award of approximately $83,786.03, which would be matched by the county at 25% or $27,928.68 for a total project cost of $111,714.71, which is the estimated cost to run the program for this next year. This money, as you may know and remember, supports a full-time VAWA detective through the Criminal Investigations Division at the Lewis and Clark County Sheriff's Office. And some of the stats that we ran for this year's grant, just to kind of get a feel for the need, would be between May 1st, and I did the range a little different. I did it from last year's application process to this year's application process, so we can get a better feel for those numbers between those dates. So between May 1st of 2024 and April 30th of 2025, the Sheriff's Office responded to about 20,000 calls for service and created about 2,500 cases that
Excuse me, Lewis and Clark County, 20,000
calls for service. Yeah. Yeah. Just calls that come into dispatch and then we respond.
related to this
No,
issue?
it breaks down a little further, but
Okay.
no, that's just our total
Like,
calls
I'm
for
just-
service. Yeah.
Startled.
Yeah. And about 2,500 cases that required further investigation. And of those numbers, 22% were allocated towards domestic violence and sexual violence incidents. So it is a fairly significant number for our area, not necessarily for our area, but a significant number to work on. Also between May 1st and April 30th, more specifically, we responded to 800 domestic violence related calls, 200 privacy violations, 150 sexual violations or sexual violence related crimes, 150 protection order violations, and 6 stalking cases. And the VAWA detective generally reviews most, if not all, of those cases, assists other deputies and detectives in their caseloads, and then also has their own caseload to investigate and work on. Some of the other duties outside of that are part of the grant process is to do continuing education with other law enforcement officers. Particularly this last year, all of the new hires that we saw at the Sheriff's Office go through a specialized training with me in order to have better practices and understand how to respond to these serious crimes in our community. And due to the important need for the Sheriff's Office, the VAWA program to continue, which is in partnership with other agencies in the community, I respectfully ask the Commission to continue to approve this vital funding opportunity for our community and to continue to support the VAWA program at the Lewis and Clark County Sheriff's Office as it has for many years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do you have any questions on this?
And yes, if I might. So the 83,700 and something comes from the grant, and the 27,900 is out of the regular budget that was set aside for this program.
Yes, sir. Yes, that's correct.
That's great. Thank you.
I have no questions on this. Is there any public comment about this? I see no public comment. Well, let's have a motion, Tom.
Chair Payne, I move to approve the grant application to the Montana Board of Crime Control as explained by Matt Kultgen.
Second. It has been moved and seconded that, before I do that, is there any further commission comment? Tom?
No.
Andy's been quiet today.
Yeah.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve the grant application to the Montana Board of Crime Control as presented by Matt Kultgen. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I didn't have to ask for public comment in there anyplace. It's been moved and let's see, we have the grant application to the Montana Board of Crime Control. I completely lost my focus. I apologize. We have moved and seconded and we voted for it. Okay, now this grant application has been approved. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioners. Have a great day.
Thank you. Okay, we have come to the part of this agenda where we ask for public comment on any public matter within the jurisdiction of the commission that is not on the agenda above. Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.